Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and once again, we're going to check out Heroes of Hammerwatch 2. In this video, we'll be checking out Curse, specifically, what enemies give us Curse. I know throughout my runs, I've got a general idea of which enemies give me Curse, but I didn't have specifics. So I sent my poor little paladin on a quest to get smashed, beat up, whatever, from level to level to get a handle on what enemies were actually giving me Curse and which ones to look out for. So the next 10 minutes or so is a compilation of footage that I've captured on the various levels, and you'll be able to see what enemy types give you Curse. So let's go ahead and take a look at that footage, and I'll show you what I've managed to figure out. So let's start with the fast travel. Not everyone will be using the fast travel, so some may not have to worry about this, but if you decide to use the fast travel in the Dark Citadel, you'll be lighting some candles and then fighting some shadow figures. They will give you a Curse. That's as simple as I can make it. So keep an eye out for that. If you can, just plan accordingly, bring some drinks, whatever. Okay, simple. Now, moving on to the actual stages. The first area where you'll accumulate Curse is the temple area. And I, again, went to painstaking lengths to try and figure out which enemy types were doing it. I had regular guys hit me, wasn't getting anything. It wasn't until the elites started showing up and that giant guy there with the axe. It seemed like their attacks were the ones that were doing it. The big guy will shoot these shadow bolts at you, and that will cause the Curse. The elites typically do as well. They've got some kind of shadow attack. The regular cultists didn't seem to do anything at first, but you'll see later that maybe they actually do. I was also curious about those little shadow figures that would spawn from corpses or whatever. I was letting them hit me and I didn't get anything, but then again, it's just RNG. I'm pretty sure that they do cause Curse. So if you do see those shadowy figures coming at you, try to take them out from range if possible. But you'll see here I was getting slammed with Curse. I accumulated over, I want to say 10 to 15 Curse all in one go. It was awful. And I'm pretty sure it was that big guy there doing it. He attacked me with something, created all sorts of shadow figures, and they did a bunch of damage. Now, right here, the Curse, or the shadow figure goes away, then the regular cultists attack me, and I'm actually accumulating Curse. So this is the part where I'm thinking, so maybe the ranged regular cultists do cause it. Maybe it's just a rare occurrence. Again, this is RNG, so I'm not always going to get an accurate result. I would need several test runs. There's an arena in that same level. There are green hooded robed figures, I guess. They will shoot shadow bolts from their staff. Those guys cause Curse. Everything else in this particular fight does not. So my advice is get behind a coffin and they will protect you. That helps with the whole line of sight thing. So look out for those green robed people. Moving on to the Crypt, and you're going to run into roughly the same enemy types that you experienced in the temple. You've got the big guy with the axe, you've got your elites, you've got those shadow figures, you've got your cultists that do melee, and these ranged attacks. And my poor little paladin, 51 Curse and counting, right? I'm trying to figure out who's doing it. And again, I have the same conclusion. It's those elites with the red thick circle around them. Just watch out for them. They for sure do something to you. This one in particular, for example, I'm like, okay, he's just hitting me, nothing's happening. But in his death throw, he did give me a shadow Curse. So I'm like, okay, so keep an eye out for the tall guy with the axe, the elites. This is another example. Even though he doesn't look like a mage, he looks like a rogue that's like dashing and meleeing. But he throws this little shadow bomb at you. And on occasion, that Shadow Bomb will cause curse right there. So again, my conclusion, elites, tall guy. Keep an eye on that. Shadow Face, I hate to tell you, but pretty much everything in this fight will cause curse. Shadow Face will spew shadow bolts from his mouth. Those cause curse. He will shoot like little shadow bolt shots out of his eyes, and they hit the ground and they explode. That causes curse. And I'm fairly certain the cultists here that shoot at you from range also cause curse. I'm pretty sure. So just be warned, Shadow Curse is nasty on that. The dungeon. As far as I can tell, the only enemy here that gave me curse are the same green hooded robed guys that I saw in that little arena fight in the temple. They shoot shadow bolts at you, and I will say they will cause a crap ton of curse. I let the one guy continuously hit me over and over and over again, and after a good minute or so, I accumulated 10, 20 curse. So that was rather nasty. I wasn't sure about... There's another caster in this level. They shoot red beams to heal each other, and they also summon these circles where hands come out of the ground to try and grab you. They do damage. I let them wail on me a bit, and I didn't get any curse. Now keep in mind this part was hard because trying to separate them from other mobs was difficult for a paladin with 61 curse. So that was difficult to test, really. But from my best guess is those summoners or those casters that pull the hands out of the ground and heal each other, I'm pretty sure they don't, but please don't quote me on that. If you can verify that, please do. The main threat to watch out for is that green hooded robed guy that shoots those purple shadow bolts at you. That's the main threat for the dungeon. The Arista fight, don't worry about it. It does enough damage to you just through piercing and poison. There is no curse as far as I can tell on that fight. In the barracks, you've got this large skeleton with a shield and a mace. Ranged attacks will curse you. It'll like slam into the ground and explode into like a shadow attack, and that will hurt you. The melee attacks don't seem to. And the other enemy that seems to do the cursing in this, again, those green hooded robed mages, whatever. They shoot the shadow bolts at you. The red hooded ones don't seem to. They seem to be like other elements like electricity or fire. I didn't get curse from them. I did get curse from the green robed guys. The Harbingers of Dread. There are two ways that I experienced curse from these guys. The mage, Harbinger of Dread, will summon this electric, shadow storm, whatever, during the second phase. That will give you curse. Then there's the melee one. He will start throwing his scythes at you at some point. It's not captured here, but I'm fairly certain in the past those gave me curse. So keep an eye out for both of those during that fight. Now, moving on into the courts, I was fairly certain that the large guy with the giant two-handed scythe, whatever that is, was causing me curse. He shoots these electric balls at you. He will silence you when he hits you. I tried, but I didn't get curse from him. He wasn't the threat that I thought he was when it came to curse. However, there's this little innocent-looking skeleton with a book in his hand, and he actually creates this little circle around you and summons this shadow lightning bolt from above, and that will curse you. He's the threat. He's the one that you want to watch out for, just so you know. Moving on to the Dark Halls, as far as I can tell, the only thing that gives you curse here are the traps on the ground. You step on those, they do a crap ton of damage. They also spew shadow bolts. That will cause curse. The Avatar fight, there's a phase where the Avatar disappears. These shadow fiends appear and attack you. The Avatar will shoot shadow bolts from his mouth. that will cause that will cause curse. And there you have it. Now keep in mind, this was just one test run. I'm sure if I ran multiple test runs, I would get better data, but I don't have the time to do that, unfortunately. So, if you know for sure of an enemy that I missed, or if you can verify an enemy that I wasn't sure about, then please leave a comment. Just be nice about it. This is Vince, thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.